Hello and welcome to Double Buff's 4th episode in our series on the celestial weapons in Final Fantasy X. I'm Bowen, and I'll be your guide for obtaining Wakka's legendary weapon, the World Champion. As always, we'll be breaking down this quest into several different tasks. First, finding the physical weapon in Spira. Next, obtaining 2 unique items that are used to upgrade the weapon. And finally, unlocking the weapon's full potential. In addition to these steps, you will also need to possess the Celestial Mirror. I won't go into detail about how to collect this item here, but we do have a guide with instructions if you need help, and that video is linked in the description. We'll be playing on the HD remastered version, but the instructions are the same across all editions. With the preamble out of the way, let's get started. So it should come as no surprise that the requirements for Wakka's celestial weapon are centered around Blitzball. Now if you're like me and you love the rip-roar and nuts-to-butts action that Blitzball provides, Christmas has come early for you. If, however, you're one of the 2 or 3 people that doesn't like Blitzball so much, we're going to be speedrunning this process so that hopefully we can get everything we need in 26 or fewer games. First thing we'll do is actually collecting the physical weapon, and in order to trigger this event, you'll need to have placed at least 3rd in any Blitzball tournament. Once you have received the Celestial Mirror from Makilania, you can come back to the Luca Cafe, show the proprietor of the cafe the Celestial Mirror, and after that, she will give you the World Champion. Now at this point, the World Champion is pretty weak. The only property it has is no AP, so what we're going to do is find the Jupiter Crest and the Jupiter Sigil in order to power it up. The Jupiter Crest is very easy to collect. Once you have finished all the storyline events in Luca and reached the Mihen High Road for the first time, you can backtrack through the city, return to the Luca Stadium, and then re-enter the Aurochs locker room. Here, in a locker in the back of the room, is the Jupiter Crest. You won't be able to collect this the first time you were in the stadium, only after you have left the city. To win the Jupiter Sigil, you'll first need to unlock all of Wakka's overdrives. The first, Attack Reels, can appear as a tournament grand prize anytime after Luca. The second overdrive, Status Reels, will only appear after you have unlocked Attack Reels and your party has fought 250 battles in the overworld. It'll appear as a first place prize for completing a 10-game league or season. However, you can see that the first place league prize here is a Mega Elixir, not Status Reels. You're welcome to keep playing 10-game leagues until Status Reels show up. No, seriously, you're welcome, that'll be a lot of fun. But if you're trying to speed through this, you can manipulate the league prizes by selecting Reset Data in the Blitzball menu. This will reset all of the player levels, team rosters, and it will randomly reassign all the league prizes. Reset your data until Status Reels appears. Now for some team building. Because the original Besaid Aurochs lineup will get you through that first tournament to win Attack Reels, but you'll want to supplement your roster with better free agents. First one being Wedge here in the Lucas Stadium for 160 gil per game. We'll be signing all these free agents to 13-game contracts because we'll play 1 10-game league and 1 3-game tournament before we use our reset data trick again. Second recruit is Jamal here in the Lucas Square for 200 gil per game. When you make it to the Mihen Travel Agency, you can recruit Rop here behind the counter for 200 gil per game. You can only have 8 players signed at one time, so you'll need to start cutting some of the original Aurochs. I'd recommend Dado, Boda, and Keepa at this stage. If you have access to the airship, you can recruit Brother. He's a good get, but you'll only have access to him later in the game. If you want to re-sign any of the original Aurochs, you can find them in their locker room back in Luca. We didn't use them in our playthrough, but Zalets is also a good get outside of the Luca Theater for 150 gil per game. So here are my lineup recommendations based on a couple of different factors. If you're trying to finish this in the early game, Tidus and Wedge will be your primary shooters at left and right forward, Rob will sub in as right defender, and Jamal will be your goalie. Jasu and Letty are competent enough to hold their own, but if you have the extra cash, Zalets is a great defender, and if you're waiting until the end game, Brother is a beast at midfield. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about how to play Blitzball. You'll pick it up pretty quick, but if you're just trying to win and get this over with, here are a couple of tips. First, change your control scheme from automatic to manual A. That way you'll have control over your character's actions and movements. 2, Tidus's Jet Shot is basically cheating, and I'd recommend that you use it extensively. 3, don't be afraid to play dirty. If you're winning, play keep away with the ball from the opponents. I think there's a glitch where if you swim back to your own goal immediately after a blitz off, the opposing team's forwards won't come challenge you. And finally, save scumming is not only allowed, but highly encouraged. Use whatever strategies you prefer to win, but after 10 games, the league will be over. If the RX are ranked number 1 at the end, you'll receive the first place prize, Wakka's status reels. Only one more overdrive to go, the RX reels, which has a chance of spawning as a tournament first place prize after you've won the status reels and after you've fought 450 battles in the overworld. But you can see here the tournament prizes don't list the overdrive. That's not a problem. We can manipulate the tournament prizes by exiting and re-entering the blitzball menu. So if you don't see it, exit out, interact with the save sphere again, and try again. You can see here, the tournament option is grayed out. Not a problem, we'll just try again. If you're still not seeing it, you may need to grind out more battles in the overworld. I'd suggest Mihen High Road. Finally, you can see the RX reels are listed as the first place prize for this tournament. Tournaments are either 2 or 3 matches, depending on if you get a bye. We got a bye in the first round, so it was 2 matches to get to the championship, and then we won. Coming in first place in the tournament grants us the final overdrive RX reels, which means we now have a chance for the Jupiter Sigil to spawn. Now this is really important. If you played 3 games in that RX reels tournament, it means that your free agent contracts will be expiring, and you'll be given the option to renew them after the game. Don't renew them, because we're going to be resetting our blitzball data after this and returning our team roster to the original lineup, so you'll just be wasting your guild. The reason we're resetting our blitzball data again is because the Jupiter Sigil has a 50% chance of spawning as a first place league prize after you have the RX reels. So we'll manipulate the league prizes the same way we did with the status reels. Once you see the Jupiter Sigil as the first place prize, go back and rehire all of your free agents for 10 more games. Win first place in the league, and you'll finally have the Jupiter Sigil, the second item we need to power up the world champion. We will return to Makkalania. This location was discovered in our Celestial Mirror guide, and we will interact with this, shrubbery? I'm actually not sure what it is. But we'll interact with it once in order to upgrade the weapon with the Jupiter Crest. Now at this point, the weapon only has the no AP and double overdrive properties. But upgrading it with the Jupiter Crest will allow the Aeon Ifrit to break the damage limit with his attacks. We will interact with this celestial shrubbery one more time in order to upgrade the weapon with the Jupiter Sigil, allowing it to reach its maximum power. Fun fact, because the Jupiter Crest and Sigil are available immediately after leaving Lucca, the World Champion is the only celestial weapon that you can have fully upgraded before reaching Mount Gagazet. It also has the hidden property of dealing more damage the closer to max HP Wakka is. So here we are equipping the World Champion. You can see it has the break damage limit, triple overdrive, double AP, and evade and counter properties. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. If you thought this guide was helpful, be sure to like the video, and we'll be making more guides in the future, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Thanks again.